This trial comes down to a nanogram, a microscopic amount of DNA evidence the state says links Carnahan to Jackie Jones' murder. KY3's Chad Pline joins us with more on DNA forensics. Chad?
Lisa, every living thing has DNA, and with the exception of identical twins, everyone's DNA is unique.
Just as we write books with letters, the genetic information is written in the language of DNA.
We all have genetic information inside our cells that's 3.3 billion letters long. That makes up our DNA. Only 0.1% of that DNA differs from one person to the next. Forensic analysts look at only 13 areas on a DNA strand to tell one person from the next.
You really need to scrutinize the DNA of two different people to find the differences.
Here's what DNA fingerprints look like. It's these columns right here. These 3 and these 4 are all suspects in a murder investigation. The one in the middle is a sample of DNA taken from a blood stain at the scene. What analysts do is they look at these suspects and compare them to the blood stain, and as you can see, suspect number 3 and the blood stain, the alleles match perfectly across the board. Suspect number 3 was at the murder scene. This is what they're looking at in the Jackie Johns case. They're looking at the evidence taken from Jackie Johns' body and Gerald Carnahan, trying to see if they match. The state says they do. The defense says there's room for human error here in reading these alleles. Dr. Kovacs says when DNA becomes degraded, as the defense claims, the fingerprint can become smeared. The identifying rings become harder to see.
It's as if you wrote something on a label and it was washed off a couple of months later, and you would have very difficult time to read it. But it wouldn't read like something else. You just wouldn't know what it really says.
So in a nutshell, if my DNA becomes degraded, the sample would not say it belongs to Steve or Lisa. It would either say it is mine or it would be unrecognizable. Dr. Kovacs also says that as far as DNA goes, it's very hard to make a sample become degraded. It's very easy to keep it well over many, many years. Right now, it's up to a jury in St. Louis County to say if that DNA is enough to convict Gerald Carnahan.
All right, Chad Pline live tonight. Thanks, Chad.